Today's show is going to be all about a 3-pound tri-tip with a homemade scratch coffee marinade. So what I want to do here is turn our attention over to the board. Let's look at the ingredients we are going to use in that marinade, and let's start the show. So this one's going to get started with a very simple coffee marinade. You probably have most of these ingredients already in your fridge or of course up in your pantry. So as we get our ingredients in, I have used this recipe on multiple different types of beef, and it does work well on all of them. Keep that in mind if you can't get yourself a tri-tip. And you can go anywhere. Like I said 6 hours. You can go anywhere from 4 to 6 hours, and this recipe will work fine. And if you think the coffee would be overpowering on this recipe, I have to tell you, and like I said, I've had it multiple occasions, and it is definitely not overpowering, and it is very distinctive in flavor. So here is our tri-tip. This is a basic store purchase tri-tip, USDA Prime. Now usually on these tri-tips there are some silver skin. Sometimes we remove it. Very simple to do. I mean, that said, this one looks pretty good. We've got just got a little bit of fat here on the top. We've got a little bit of silver skin here. We'll just kind of snip that off. Try not to take too much meat with it. And the back end, we've got a little bit of silver skin here. We will just get that off. Alrighty, so once you get the tri-tip all cleaned up, you are going to get yourself one of these baggies. Now the tri-tip is quite long here, so we'll see if we're going to fit. Usually we just stuff it in there. We're pretty good. From there, get your coffee marinade. You're going to carefully pour it in. At that point, you're just going to want to squish it around. You want to make sure you get good coverage all over the tri-tip. And basically, as you are doing that, you are going to want to let the air out. And guys, that basically is it here. I will get this in the refrigerator. Like I said, 4 to 6 hours will do you nice. After that time, I will bring you guys back and we will take it to the next step. Alrighty, all welcome back. And we are looking at about 4.5 hours on the marinade. Basically, what you are going to do here is you're going to get it out of the bag, get it in a little colander like this, a little strainer like this. You don't want to wash the marinade off the tri-tip. You're just going to put it in the strainer here and just kind of let it sit. What I want to do here, let's go on back to my Z. You can hear I've got it all fired up. We are going to load that down with some cherry pellets and also set that dial at 275 Fahrenheit. Once that temp is reached, I will bring you guys back and we will get the tri-tip on. So as we wait for our Z grills to come up to temp, remember we are looking at a 275 temperature. We do have a little bit more prep here on this tri. Of course, that is going to be into some salt. And also fresh cracked black pepper. If you don't have fresh cracked, obviously you could use any black pepper you have. So our pit has reached that 275. We are going to get the tri-tip in, and we are also going to probe it because we don't want to overcook it. We want to keep this in that medium rare range, which is going to be about pulling it about, you know, maybe about 110 or so. At that point, we will raise up the Z grills and we will get a little bit of searing on it, which should take us right up to that perfect medium rare. So that certainly didn't take long, about 1 hour and 10 minutes, and we are reading 113. We will go on in. I'm going to check it with my handheld just to make sure. And as you can see, depending on where you poke it, we are about that 110, 112 or something. So that is going to be perfect. What we are going to do here, we are going to get it off the pit. I will get it here on the board because we want to take this to that next and last step, which is basically going to be firing up that pit as high as your pit can go. This Z Grill's 700 series will go up to that 450. That is going to be just fine. So once that temperature of around 450 is hit, I will bring you guys back. We will take this to the last step, and then after that, it is certainly going to be payoff time as we slice it open to see how we did, do that taste test, talk about it, and close out the show. And my temperature has reached up and over 500. It is time to get that tri-tip in. And as you put the tri-tip in the pit, notice we are going to go right over the fire pot. That is going to be the hottest point. Also, you want to make sure you push down so you can get good contact with that grate. We will shut that down as quick as possible. Let it go for 3 minutes. At that point, you are going to open it up and give it a quick quarter turn, shut it down. And as always, remember to always maintain good contact with those grates. Wait another 2 minutes. At this point, it is time to flip it. And now from there, what you want to do is to take the allotted time for your temperature. I am shooting for that medium rare, so I know it is going to take about 2 more minutes or so. At that point, I will open it up, and it is time to get that off. And I got to tell you, look at the color of that tri-tip. I mean, that looks absolutely gorgeous. Oh yeah. So look, what I want to do here is let's move that tri-tip over to the board. We are going to loosely wrap it to some foil. You're going to want to let it sit for about, a good solid 10 minutes or so. At that time, I will bring you guys back. And one of the most questions I get asked all the time is, how do you cut a tri-tip? Well, we are going to go over that next. Alrighty, so that is a brief 10-minute rest. And there is our coffee marinated tri-tip. And I got to tell you, one of the questions the channel always gets asked is how you're going to cut this. I mean, you have some different grains. You've got a grain running like this, and you've got a grain running like this. And basically, what I like to do is take a slice right down here, right where you see that that little bend. I like to go straight down, and that's going to be the money shot anyway. All right, and there you see our beautiful tri-tip. Now that's going to leave you two cuts. One is going to come here, and the other one is going to come here. And again, you just want to go against the grain. And I like about, you can go about 1/2 inch slices. If you want a little bit thinner, you can go 1/4 inch. I'm going to serve these basically out like little steaks. And that is a beautiful tri-tip cut right there. And now remember, on this tail end over here, we're going to be a little bit more well done. Then over here where it's thicker, obviously we are a little bit rare. Or should I say rarer. And that is basically going to be your one tri-tip cut. And over here, we're going to flip this around and come here from the tail. And again, this is going to be a little bit more well done. So look, what I want to do here is let me get this finished. Let me get this all cut up. Let me get it plated up, and I will bring you guys back and we will do that taste test. Alrighty, so here we are, and I would say this is cooked perfect for me. Would you say we are a nice medium rare? So that is definitely a home run. And again, as you get into some of the leaner pieces, she might go down to about a medium or so, as you can see. So you've got medium coming through, and you've got a nice medium rare in here. Let's go on in and get that taste test. Wow. All right, so here is the verdict on this. You hardly get any of that coffee flavor that you would think that you were getting. What you do get is a almost like a woodsy type flavor on the beef. You've got a nice outer crust with that pepper and that salt that we put on the end. I am telling you now, if you want to up your tri-tips, or you want to do this on a London broil or maybe a ribeye steak, I would say definitely go for it, man. This is a damn good meal right here. There is no doubt about it. Alrighty, and that is going to close out this show here. And as always, if there's anything you'd like to see, just leave it down in the description.